Hey guys, going on? My name is Josh, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about a little story of mine that just kind of blew my mind a little bit about my health care here in Newfoundland. So, basically, to sum the cause of what led to this up, last year around my birthday, I got really sick. I got prescribed with some antibiotics, which made me more sick, which made my family doctor believe that I was allergic to penicillin. And so it took a year to get an appointment finally with the specialist. And here in Newfoundland, the population here on the island is generally one of the oldest average populations in Canada, which means that we have one of the highest strains per person on our healthcare, which means that we have really bad wait times here in Newfoundland, as we only have like the one major medical center in St. John's, the health science. So basically, what I was told is that it was going to take a year because there's only one person on the island who supposedly could do this penicillin allergy test. So a year passes by, and that leads us to just recently, and actually it was today, which would be tomorrow. This would be yesterday if you guys are watching it the day this gets uploaded. But so I finally got in. I went to our hospital here in St. John's, and I had to wait for my 9 o'clock appointment. So 9 o'clock appointment rolls around. I get pulled into the examiner's room. They take my blood pressure, and I'm one of those people they call white coat syndrome, where basically every time you go into a hospital and they go to check your blood pressure, it sets off an anxiety attack, and it increases your blood pressure, and just kind of hard to get an accurate reading of your blood pressure when you're panicking because you're in an area that just makes you panic. So after a couple retries and joking around that I broke their blood pressure machine, they finally took it, and it settled down to something more acceptable. I think it was like one like 20 over like 96 or something. But the first time they took it, it was 156 over like 100, which was crazy bad. And so that kind of raised alarm. So that always happens every time I go to get any blood pressure checked by anybody. So once I got that all done and we went into when I went in to get examined and stuff, I was going in expecting to have to do, some blood work, and do the general allergy test where they scratch you with like different things and see how you react to it. And so I'm not a guy, I've never gotten my blood work done before, so I was a little I wouldn't say I was scared, but the anxiety was definitely there. I mean, when you don't do anything, like when you do, it's like the anxiety of doing something for the first time. You know what I mean? It's not really the anxiety of, I can't do this, I'm going to die. It's like, I don't know if it's going to be worse than what people say, or is it going to be like what people say, or is it going to be different? It was one of those kinds of situations. So we go in, and I talk to the lady and the doctor, and the specialist, and so she sums it up, and then she comes back. I tell her about what led to me getting sick, what it was like when I was sick, so on and so forth. And so she was like, okay, well, now we're going to start the test, and the test takes 2 hours. So I'm going to tell you what this test from the specialist for penicillin that took me a year to do. I will tell you what it is. They gave me a microdose, I guess. It was about like, it was 10 milliliters or something, a syringe thing, of penicillin. They just told me, here, drink that, and then go sit down in the waiting room for 30 minutes, and then come back after 30 minutes. So before I took the thing, she checked my body for any marks, any signs of something, anything to be aware with, just to see, like, for something for reference. So I was kind of like, whoa, so whatever. So I took the penicillin, a little bit of penicillin, and I went into the waiting room. 30 minutes passed by, And, the placebo in me, I know that nothing's going wrong because I know what to look for if I ever do go into an allergic reaction or any kind of medical condition, because I'm a very deeply self-educated man when it comes to the information that I have. I like to be aware down to the dime of the detail, because I'm very, very aware that everybody can make mistakes. Doesn't matter how professional you are. The information is always getting relayed to you in a quicker and more efficient way that misses a lot of the important details. So I know exactly what I should be looking out for. And so I was just thinking, I knew that nothing was wrong, but like the placebo was making me feel itchy and stuff. So, but that was all okay. So 30 minutes passed by. I'm like, okay, so that never did anything. So let's see what is the next hour and a half of test, because this is when I was expecting them to do blood work. I was thinking at first that, I took this penicillin. They're going to wait 30 minutes, see if I have a reaction to it, and then they're going to do some blood work and see if anything is going on the cellular level, and they'd take me aside and do some other tests and stuff. But what actually happened is that I went back into the examiner's room. The doctor, or specialist, whatever you want to call her, she checked me out again, looked for any changes in the way I looked. Everything was fine and dandy. And then she gave me a bigger syringe thing filled with penicillin. And like a dropper kind of thing, if you know what I'm saying. And then it kicked into me. I was like, oh my God, these people, this test, for this specialist test, the one that I waited a year for, is just them literally giving me what they think I may be allergic to, giving it to me, and seeing if I start to die. If I start to have a reaction, if my throat starts to close over or anything like that. So it dawned on me that, medicine today, although medicine today is extremely advanced, I mean, sometimes the stuff that they do is so, like, your mind just kind of goes, like, this is actually what it is. And it's cool, but at the same time, when it clicked into me that, this thing that they're giving me, I got to take all this penicillin, I took it all. I said, I was sat down for the hour and a half waiting for a reaction to happen, I was like, oh my God, they're just seeing if this kick-starts a reaction, and if I start to die, they know I'm allergic. But if I don't start to die, I'm not allergic. So, luckily for me, the hour and a half passed. Went back into the examiner's room, and I was fine. Doctor checked me out, and she actually checked me out a little early and said I could head on early. She just said, this was the most important thing she said. She said, if everything seems fine, but if you leave and at any time you feel like, you're developing symptoms, maybe you're getting a rash, she said maybe your throat will close over, something like those lines, pretty severe, thing to happen. She said if anything starts to happen, not happens, if anything starts to happen, go straight to the emergency room. And so I was like, oh, okay, maybe I should stay another, half hour. Nope, that's okay, just head on, and if you start to die, come back. So that was my that was my experience today, or yesterday, or whenever you're watching this. That was my experience getting my penicillin allergy test, which, may I say once again, it took a year to get a test that I could have done on my own. So a little wacky, but whatever. So, guys, if you enjoyed this little hospital story or whatever you want to call it, go ahead and hit the like button. I got lots of more stories coming, and just if you guys want to keep living with us here on KP, just swim to that subscribe button and subscribe.